Hello and welcome to Handmade by Julia Quinn. I live on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia, and I'm here to show you a very simple idea for basic card making. This is a great way to use beautiful papers that have scenery on them. So these particular papers by the Lily Pond have really lovely images on them that you can just use to do all of the heavy lifting for you when you're doing a card. There's lots of lovely papers in there. So I'm using one paper for the front, and then most of the papers have a sort of quieter other side, so that you have the A side and the B side. So I'm using a B side just for the background and then making the focal point some of that gorgeous paper. All right, so I have cut my cardstock already. This is half of a piece of A4 cut in half and scored, ready to go. So very basic card. And then I have also cut two more pieces of the same color, Pretty Peacock, one to mat the front and one for the inside of my card. And I've got one more piece of white for the inside of my card here, which will be your greeting piece. But I do have to cut up the designer series paper so that you can see how I've done that. All right, so I thought I might use, I've got the mama and the papa and the four little ducklings. I thought I might use this one or this one. I mean, you can use any sort of imagery. I thought I might use this one this time. So my piece of cardstock here is 8 by 12 or 11. Hang on, I just better double check. 8 by 11. So I just want to make it a little bit less than that. So I'm going to choose my 11 centimeters, which is my length that way, and then see if I can do, well, I have to cut off pieces off both sides to create my focal image. So 7.5, which is a little bit less than my 8, and 10.5, which is a little bit less than my 11. Okay. All right. So that's those bits done. That's the bit for the front of my card. Then I want to do a little bit to stamp my greeting on. And I might use this piece here. So that is a little bit less than this little piece here, which is 2 by 9.5. So I want 1.5. There we go. By 9, and that should fit exactly inside my little piece here. There we go. So there's that, and then there's that, and then I should move these out of the way. Then I've got another little piece for inside my card to just put at the base of my piece here, and I'll use some of this piece here. So that is 7.5. And I'll make it a little bit narrower than that, by 2, I think. There we go. So that's all of my paper cut out, ready to go. Let's put the card together, shall we? Pop you over there so we can see what we're doing. Oh, no, I haven't cut out my background piece. So where was I? This one here is what I'm going to use for the background piece. And that is 10. So just a little bit less than your normal standard size card. Okay, so let's put that together. A little bit of seal on the back, and our focal point on a little bit of coordinating cardstock, just like that. And then we'll pop that up on some dimensionals so it becomes a lovely little focal point. Oops. that off there. Pop that in there. And then while I'm sticking, I'm going to stick my writing panel for the inside of my card. Just on here. Line that up right inside. And then my little piece with the lily pads for the bottom of this piece. And line that up this way, leaving a little tiny border. There we go. We can pop that on the inside of our card. And then the last thing to do is stamp a little greeting. Now I have used, you can use any sort of greeting at all. I just really use a lot more happy birthday stamps than I do anything else. So I'm going to use exactly the same ink that I've used for the cardstock and stamp my happy birthday right inside my little piece here. There we go. And put you out of the way. Just wipe my thing so I don't put ink everywhere like I often do. Pop you around here. And then I've added just a little something pretty onto my card. So a little bit of twine. This is using a colour out of the papers. I always like to coordinate the same sort of colours out of the papers as well. So I'm just going to tie that. Have I got long enough? No, needed a little bit longer. And to help me, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back so it would stay in place while I'm tying it. Tie that into a knot. So I'm just doubling it over to make it look even prettier. There we go. And trim 1 and 2. And a bit more adhesive on there, and then 2 right on the very ends because they'll overhang the top of our card there. Now you can put this wherever you like, but I'm going to pop it just over here on either side there. And the last thing I'm going to do is add some really pretty gems, which are again in the same color. I like to keep everything all very same tones. That makes it totally easy for me to work out what I'm doing. There we go. A very simple, basic card for you, making the most of beautiful paper and any greeting you want to use. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye now.